fancy meeting you here. I'm Dan Ingram, and I'm going to tell you what's new. This is HBO Coming Attractions. Everything that's happening on HBO in the month of June. Movies, sports, specials. Well, June is busting out all over, and it starts in the wild blue yonder with Blue Thunder. Aha, there's something suspicious going on in Los Angeles. And it could just be that the sky is the limit.
I thought it was illegal to arm police helicopters.
Well, that would depend on the circumstances, wouldn't it?
Roy Scheider is a pilot who's going to get to the bottom of it, even if it means going straight to the top.
Are you threatening me, Murphy?
No, I'm telling you. Back off.
But before he finds out the secret of Blue Thunder, he learns a little something about playing hardball. Yes, sir.
Stop calling me sir. You sound like David Copperfield.
Ask too many questions and you're playing with fire.
I don't know. Maybe I've been in this too long, but I got a feeling something bad is coming down.
Blue Thunder. That's no helicopter. That's an arsenal with rotors. Starring Roy Scheider, Malcolm McDowell, who's great in this, Warren Oates, Candy Clark, and Daniel Stern. This is a great flick. This is the Ingram Recommend for June. Of course, Blue Thunder is an action drama, heavy on the action, so it does contain adult situations, adult language, violence, and nudity.
Let's see what's on HBO tonight, okay?
Well, I don't know about tonight, Dano, but come June 17th, Blue Thunder premieres on HBO. Now, here's something interesting. The reasons performers become stars vary from person to person. In my case, it's because management rarely watches the show. But for Chevy Chase, it was standing on line to a midnight showing of the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's where he met Lorne Michaels, producer of Saturday Night Live. The twosome hit it off immediately, and later Lorne offered the unemployed Chevy a job as writer on Saturday Night Live. So, after finding work, what did Chevy Chase go and do? He took a vacation. National Lampoon's vacation. See, Chase is just your everyday, ordinary food additives expert, but...
I'm not your ordinary, everyday fool.
Or so he thinks.
Whoa!
Because he's going to make the same stupid mistake so many of us make. He's going on a vacation, and he's taking his family.
Having a nice little family vacation.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
This is so dangerous. We have no business being in an area like this.
Well, look at it this way, honey. This is a part of America we never get to see.
Oh, kids. Oh, kids.
Now, doesn't that look like fun? It shouldn't. It's a vacation.
And this is no longer a vacation. It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
I had a bad experience on this ride once before.
What happened?
I threw up.
National Lampoon's Vacation. It contains adult language, adult humor, and nudity. It also contains Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Randy Quaid, John Candy, Imogene Coca, and Christy Brinkley. National Lampoon's Vacation, premiering on HBO June 2nd. Now, what could be more fun than a National Lampoon vacation? A National Lampoon class reunion, of course.
Oh, yeah, I remember you.
Yeah, but do you recognize any of these people?
No.
You kids look like you haven't had a good cafeteria meal in years.
How gross. No chicken for me.
National Lampoon's Class Reunion. Like any movie worth its weight in lampooning, Class Reunion contains adult situations, adult language, adult humor, and nudity. It premieres on HBO June 9th. Well, after spending time at a class reunion, how about doing time behind bars? In Maximum Security, an original drama with some lighter moments made exclusively for HBO.
He just got carried away by the news.
News? What news? What news? The news that the world is soon going to have Harry Kent Schneider to kick around again. The news that I'm getting out. I'm leaving. I'm being discharged from the Cement and Steel Club Fed. That news.
With Ron Howard and Tony Gans as executive producers, Maximum Security takes a candid look at life in a maximum security prison. The struggles, the sorrow, and more often than not, the humor.
The governor picked 15 nonviolent criminals, and I'm one of them.
Non-violent offender, huh? Hey, maybe somebody will nominate me, man.
The man said non-violent.
What you talking about, man? I'm non-violent. What you mean?
You beat up everybody in Ohio.
Somebody had to do it.
Dying is getting out. Dying is what I want to do.
What are you here for, Harry? You don't know? We'd like to hear you tell us about it.
You're gonna have to let everybody go and give yourself up.
I can't do that, Frank. I mean, I'm a cinch to get at least a few more years for what's gone down so far. I'm going to stick this thing through.
Suspenseful, funny, touching. Maximum Security, an HBO original premiering June 17th. Now, Pimp Smooth Walker is trying to stay out of prison and out of the hands of the mob.
That's a decent thing to do.
So he comes up with an idea that could be a lifesaver, his lifesaver.
How'd you like to come into this business?
The entertainment business?
Exactly.
He puts his, business in the, hands of a meek college professor named
Clifford Scriblow. My friends call me Cliff.
To survive in the asphalt jungle, the nutty professor has only one choice. He'll become
the bad man from Michigan himself.
Dr. Detroit. The doctor will take care of everything. I don't know if he's really from Detroit.
Dr. Detroit, a very funny comedy with just a few screws loose.
Where did all this money come from?
The old-fashioned way. We earned.
It stars Dan Aykroyd and Howard Hessman, with a special appearance by the king of soul himself, Mr. James Brown. Dr. Detroit contains adult situations, adult language, adult humor, violence, and nudity. It premieres on HBO June 16th.
This is the best time I've ever had in my entire life!
Well, they've got some moves at Wimbledon that may raise a few questions. Does bad boy John McEnroe have the goods to repeat as Wimbledon champ?
Shut up!
Is Jimmy Connors the man to beat?
If they think that I can be beaten, then they're going to have to come out and prove it.
Can Yvonne Lendl rise to the top and win Wimbledon?
As long as I'm in the tournament, I can, but I don't know how good the chances are.
And what about Chris Everett? Can she capture the title from Martina? Well, you'll find the answers yourself at Wimbledon 84, when Barry Tompkins, Billie Jean King, and Arthur Ashe bring you analysis.
The players who do well are going to be those who serve and volley.
Insight.
When you're playing well and you're number one, you almost say, give me your best serve. I'm going to hit a better return.
And an expert look at this year's top challengers.
Mats Wilander, incredibly talented. He could get to the final.
This year, the person who's finally starting to mature, I think, is Hana Manlikova.
Tracy Austin is this year's mystery player. If she can restore her confidence, she could win the tournament.
It gets right down to who can play the big points better, who can handle the pressure and enjoy the pressure and the challenge of that moment. And they love it. They say, give me the ball.
Yep, for the 10th straight year, HBO is offering the most comprehensive midweek coverage of Wimbledon. 3 hours daily of action from both main show courts. Additional action from key outer courts. Updates and previews from all around the tournament. This is complete coverage that you simply can't see anywhere else. So,
join former Wimbledon champ Billie Jean King
and former Wimbledon champ Arthur Ashe when we cover Wimbledon 84, an HBO-only sports presentation.
Coverage begins June 25th. And here's something interesting. You know, it can get wet at Wimbledon. But in 1922, the center court became so damp and humid that shrimp hatched in it.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Oh, but I am. Shrimp actually hatched in the grass at Wimbledon. It seems they'd been lying dormant in the turf ever since it was transplanted from Cumberland. Unfortunately for the players, there happened to be a worldwide shortage of cocktail sauce at the time. From the court at Wimbledon to the court of law? Not quite. Because in 10 to Midnight, Charles Bronson plays a police detective who knows how the law works.
The way the law protects those maggots out there, you'd think they were an endangered species.
Bronson's tough. I mean, he's a real man.
I hate quiche.
And he's hot on the trail of a psychotic killer.
You like hurting girls?
I won't answer that.
Who's after his daughter.
Hi, baby. How's it going? How are you?
Well, I'm fine. Who's this?
You don't know me, but I know you. You're beautiful. I love you.
And he won't rest until his daughter's safe and the killer's dead, even if it means taking the law into his own hands.
You go in that courtroom and forget what's legal and do what's right. We found some blood on your client's clothing. We're going to rebook him, murder one.
Don't open the door.
Oh, my God. Don't open that door!
10 to Midnight, a spellbinding action picture. And you know wherever Charles Bronson's mixed in the action, there's going to be adult language, adult situations, violence, and nudity. 10 to midnight. It premieres on HBO June 30th. A very different kind of criminal is stirring in The Sting 2. You see, con is the name of the game.
You got an idea?
I got an idea.
What's the scam?
I think they'll sting a wolf.
In the con game, appearances are always deceiving.
All we need now is a fighter.
A real fighter?
No, one of our own. Someone who can grift.
Where are we going to find a grifter who can fight?
But the question is, who is conning whom?
Give those fools a little time and they'll be so trapped in my web, dear boy, that they will regret that they ever heard of me.
And in the end, he who cons last, cons best. Or does he?
If you put a bundle on that kid, you cannot lose. Is that the truth?
Oh, well, don't be surprised if you're surprised at the ending of this one. The Sting 2, starring a not-too-shabby assortment of con men and women. Con people. Right. Jackie Gleason, Carl Malden, Oliver Reed, Mac Davis, and Terry Garr. Now, if you like The Sting, prepare to be stung again when The Sting 2 premieres on HBO June 3rd. Another fine sequel in June, Psycho 2. After 22 years...
On the basis of the staff report, Norman Bates is judged, restored to sanity, and is ordered released.
So, business as usual in the Bates Motel? Not on your life, or death, for that matter.
Do you have a knife?
No, I'm afraid. I don't. I just moved back here after being many years away. And I forgot to bring any cutlery.
Well, old Norm does move in with an attractive young woman.
Why don't you wait here while I check the room? Just to make sure the linen's fresh.
And he does manage to hold down a job in the diner for a while. But...
I'm becoming confused again, aren't I? It's my mother. She's not dead.
And why are all those nasty killings occurring back at the motel?
I guess I'm just nervous.
Psycho 2, a witty sequel that'll make you laugh almost as loud as you scream. It stars Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, and Meg Tilly. And as you'd probably guess from a title like Psycho 2, you're going to see adult situations, graphic violence, and nudity. Psycho 2 premieres on HBO June 1st.
It's starting again.
Well, on HBO this month, Jim Henson is represented by two different creations. Fraggle Rock, of course, back with 2 new episodes June 4th and June 11th. And in addition to the Fraggles, Jim has created the creatures of the Dark Crystal. In a distant place and time, a gelfling named Jen begins a quest.
What do you want of me?
A shard. A crystal shard.
He needs to find the mythical crystal to defeat the Skeksis, the evil rulers of his world.
Listen, Gelfling. There is much to be learned, and you have no time.
On his quest, he meets the gelfling Kira and her pet Fizzgate. And together, they set out on an adventure that takes them through capture and escape.
Wings. I don't have wings.
Of course not. You're a boy.
And finally, the fight of their lives.
Find that gelfling now!
The Dark Crystal, a truly unique picture, visually stunning, eerie and ingenious in the use of its puppet-like creatures. And with Jim Henson behind it, you know it will be entertaining for your family. The Dark Crystal. See it on HBO June 10th. And here's something interesting. After working with puppets like the Muppets for so long, how did Jim Henson come up with the creatures in the Dark Crystal?
The idea came kind of at the time we did the characters for Saturday Night Live. We did a few characters for that show that were quite unlike anything we'd ever done with the Muppets. They were sort of halfway between the very realistic thing we're doing now in Dark Crystal and a cartoon sort of effect.
Now, looking for a place as wild as the world of the Dark Crystal? How about summer camp? In the HBO Family Playhouse presentation, The Wilder Summer, things just couldn't get any wilder.
I'm Charlie Wilder.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
You see, Lydia likes Charlie.
You mean you feel the same way I do about the situation? Of course.
And Charlie likes Lydia.
See that girl under the beam by the door? The one with the blonde hair? Her name's Lydia Travers.
But somehow their summer love never quite springs to life.
You want to get to know Lydia Travers better, right? But you're a little shy. Well, I've known Lydia for years. And if you're interested, I have a suggestion. I'm listening. You see, Lydia likes snakes.
Will puppy love survive the summer dog days? Will the boy called Chubbs become a man called Fatty? Check out The Wilder Summer. Perfect light entertainment for the beginning of summer.
You're going to have the time of your lives.
It premieres on HBO June 4th. Well, before the wilder days of summer, there were the wildest days of all, spring break. And it all started just because a politician's son was out for a little fun.
I was just trying to have some fun.
Fun? Reeling around like a drunken cretin?
This is your chance. Don't blow it. If you don't go crazy down here, then you are crazy.
Chasing after every teeny bopper in sight?
It's one of my more useful skills.
Running around in public acting like a fool?
Hey, I found something to drink.
Indulging every whim.
So, it's good, huh?
You call that fun?
Yes.
You know, Spring Break is a high-spirited comedy, and so it contains some adult situations, adult language, adult humor, and nudity. So, if you have a yen for escapism, Spring Break just may be the break you're looking for. It premieres on HBO June 23rd.
Your mother is sick to death about this. Where is she? Out shopping.
This is real dynamite.
And this is a real gun.
Stoney Cooper. He isn't out for a good time. He's an ex-cop with a mission.
The day I took your badge was the last time I ever wanted to see your face.
He's also a man with a problem. He's an outsider now, and no one on the police force will work with him.
Go back to your nice big apple, okay?
So he tries to team up with his ex-wife, a TV reporter.
Johnny, no, we're not gonna make it!
You're gonna make it!
Deadly Force. Enough crime, action, and conflict to raise your blood pressure about 20 points.
You're dead.
I don't carry a badge anymore, remember?
Deadly Force, you should know, contains scenes of graphic violence and nudity, as well as adult situations and adult language. Keep it in mind when Deadly Force premieres on HBO June 29th.
Terrific.
While Los Angeles may be the perfect fictional setting for Deadly Force, it's the perfect factual setting for a George Carlin concert, as HBO goes on location with George Carlin at UCLA. America's premier comedian is back with his 4th HBO-only concert special. And in this show, George will be telling you about all kinds of new stuff.
That's all your house is. It's a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Sometimes you gotta move. Sometimes you gotta move. You gotta get a bigger house. Why? Too much stuff.
On location, Carlin On Campus. It premieres on HBO June 22nd. All righty, it's time now to tell you about this month's sleeper, which takes